John, earlier this week you talked about the 500 entities, about Iran, 500 entities that have been sanctioned by the administration last year. Have you seen any impact of these sanctions? Any type of impact that has had on Iran's behavior?
500 entities since the beginning of the administration, not last year. Some 50 sanctions regime, about 500 entities. We know they've had an impact on Iran's economy, which struggles. But look, we also know that there's other ways that you have to push back on Iran's destabilizing behaviors, including bolstering and strengthening our military capabilities in the region, as well as working with partners. I mean, we've now got a coalition of 20 some odd countries, ships and aircraft and other capabilities trying to protect Red Sea shipping. So there's been a lot of effort here to hold Iran accountable for their destabilizing activities.
And if you allow me, John, a colleague has asked me to ask you, yesterday Mexico and Chile requested the International Criminal Court to investigate potential crimes against civilians in Gaza and October 7 Hamas attack on Israel. Any reaction on this?
We're aware of those of that report and the potential referral to the ICC. I don't have a comment for you on it at this time. We're still gathering more information about what this would entail. But I want to say again that we don't have any indications that there's deliberate efforts to commit war crimes by the Israeli Defense Forces.
John, yesterday Jake Sullivan met with the family members of hostages being held by Hamas. I'm wondering if you can give us any readout. Was he able to provide any updates to the families? What message did he have for them during that?
The main message was that we're still working out this, and as I said in the readout of the call, that was right at the top of the list for the president to talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu about efforts to get another hostage deal going. And I want to protect the private nature of the conversation, but Jake also made sure that they were aware that those efforts are ongoing and that they're serious. The discussions we're having are sober and serious about potentially getting another hostage deal in place. I'm not suggesting, and you shouldn't take away from this, that we'll have something to announce imminently or that we're over the finish line. I don't mean to suggest that at all. There's a lot of hard work still ahead, but we haven't given up on the effort, and the efforts are being taken very seriously by the national security team. And, you know, Brett McGurk was just in Doha last week, and that was a big reason why he was there. So that was, Jake wanted to bring them together, to make sure they knew, you know, we kept that connective tissue with them, that we still obviously care about their loved ones and getting them home, that they're a priority for President Biden, and updated them in general terms about the discussions that we've been having in the region.
Was he able to give any kind of update about the condition or what was known about the condition of any of the hostages? Do we have new information or any information about how the hostages are doing?
I don't have any information to share with you about what we know about the individual hostages. I will say, as I've said before, regrettably, we just don't have a lot of tactile information about where they are or what specific condition they're being held. And as I think you can imagine, it is very likely that they are being moved around quite a bit. So it's hard to get real fingertip feel on exactly how they are, but we have to assume they're being held in just the utmost deplorable of conditions.
On the supplemental, just given latest developments, I mean, how is the president thinking of this idea of conditioning aid to Israel? Is this being pushed by some of his allies? Is that something he supports?
We believe that the approach that we're taking right now has had results, and we're going to continue that approach, which is obviously making sure that Israel has the capabilities it needs, and that continues, but also urging them at every turn to be more precise, more targeted, more deliberate with respect to civilian harm, urging an increase in humanitarian aid and assistance, and of course trying to get another humanitarian pause in place so we can do a hostage deal. I would tell you, as I've said before, that this approach that we've taken of at once supporting Israel and their military capabilities, but also providing advice and counsel, lessons learned from our own experiences in this kind of fighting, has had results. They have changed the way they have conducted operations. In fact, they have already started a transition to lower intensity operations, again, largely at our urging. They opened up Kerem Shalom, a second gate of humanitarian assistance, largely at our urging. So the president's continued discussions with Prime Minister Netanyahu and at lower levels across our team has had results.
Thank you.